Welcome to the Penfriends podcast. I'm Becca.
And my name is Caitlin.
Episode
Welcome back.
15. Can you believe
Yeah,
it?
I can. I think I knew we would get here eventually. It's been rocky. We've been doing. Hey, you know what? We've been consistent every other week.
Yeah,
So like we could
maybe
keep
we
doing
should
every
just
other
do
week.
that.
Maybe we should because it just is crazy trying to get together. Um. Anyway, yeah, I just got back from a rehearsal. I was telling Becca at our community theater, and then my mom's doing a show at our high school, my old high school right now, the Adams family, and I made Morticia's dress, and I can't wait to get pictures of it. It looks really good, and so I was really proud of doing that, and that'll add to my portfolio.
I want to
It's
see
really well.
it.
Yeah, I'll send you pictures after.
Okay,
That's not the surprise picture that I have. I'll
okay.
I'll get to that in a second.
I'm
But
ready.
yeah,
You
in
haven't sent it?
general,
Oh, have you? No, that's just your
no, I
avatar.
haven't sent it yet.
Okay.
No, I need a live reaction. But before we do that, how have you been?
Really good. So I started my new job. I
Yes,
can say that now officially, and I love it.
good. I'm glad that's getting better for
I'm
you.
so happy. Like right now, I'm just kind of in a weird in-between place because they haven't placed me in a room and I don't really know like what's going on day to day.
Mhm.
But it seems like once I get an actual placement, then we'll talk like hours and it will be at least a little bit more
Mhm.
consistent. But right now, it's literally like, oh shit. Sorry. I'm playing with my nail file and I just like snapped it legit. Just like, alright.
I
Anyway,
thought I thought you threw something across the room. Do you need a
no.
fidget cube while we podcast? Are you
Yeah.
okay? You need
No.
your fidget spinner?
Oh my god. Sorry, it's been a day. I'll get
Oh
into
man.
it. But basically, and they hired like, at first we thought that the three of us that were hired in are like the only ones. And me and this
Mhm.
other lady, not lady, well, yeah, she's like my same age, so this other girl, we're both like going to be leads, but none of the older classrooms need lead teachers, so we're like,
Mhm.
we don't know what's going on, the staff doesn't know what's going on, and then we found out today that they hired another lead. And
Hmm.
so, like, me and Diana, that's the girl's name, we're like, what is happening? Like, something must be going down. Because if they're moving people like that, then something, I don't know.
The Illuminati is at work
Yeah, we're,
at your
I mean,
school.
really though. So we're just a little confused. We don't know like what to expect one day to the next, and that makes it a little difficult because I've literally at the end of each day been going in and saying like, "What time do you want me
Mhm.
tomorrow?" And it's been pretty consistent, like 8:30 to 5:30. But then I was helping cover in a room today, and the director called down and was like, "Hey, can you stay until 6 tomorrow so that you can get a chance to close?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure, no problem." And um, but I'm like not on the schedule for a room placement,
Permanently. Oh, okay.
so I'm like, I don't know where I'm going to be. I just know that I'm staying until 6. I don't know. So
Not
it's
over
been
your cough still?
confusing, but overall, I'm a lot happier.
Good.
Yeah, like a lot happier. It's way different. It's like it's so different than Head Start because it's a child care center,
Mm-hmm.
so they just like do things different in general. But I'm like, oh my lord, it's weird, but good.
Good. I'm really glad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, Still feeling a little sick. I just heard you cough a little.
Yeah, sorry, it's probably gonna
Oh
be.
no, it's fine.
I feel like I'm kind of starting to get over it. It's
Mm-hmm.
not as crazy as it was like it was worse to the point where every time I was coughing, it was not only a hacking cough, but I was like coughing to the point of like gagging. But
Oh man, yeah.
I'm not coughing anything up. I know that's gross. Sorry, TMI, but Like it sounds like a hacking cough, but it's more of a dry cough. It's
Yeah.
really weird. And it just won't, like I can't kick it. But one of the other leads actually said that she heard from her doctor that like the cough is hanging around for like months, like a
Oof.
like couple or weeks to maybe month-ish. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm
Ew.
coming right up on that. So
Yeah, you sound a lot better
yeah,
than 2 weeks ago,
I
so.
feel like it's better. Like I'm not super self-conscious about
Mm
sounding like I'm deathly ill or have
hmm. Mm
like
hmm.
tuberculosis or whooping cough or anything that endangers children. Which I never
Right,
did,
yeah.
but it just sounded like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of what has been going on. Oh, I'm gonna be designing a show in Lansing. It's a new community theater called the Down Easter Theater,
Mhm.
and they just like opened like a year ago or so. The theater is a converted church. Like it was a church, and now like they converted where the priest would
That's so
stand to
exciting.
like a
That's
flat
the
up stage.
interview that you had, right? That
Yeah,
was like
yeah. Mm-hmm.
really a weird interview that didn't happen, but it must have.
It was the dog my was my interview. I did meet the dog in person. Yeah, so
You might want
we
to
had scheduled.
explain that because that's a
Oh yeah,
conversation
we
we
didn't.
only had over text.
Yeah, you're right. I never know what we talk about like out of recording and
I
what.
know.
Um but I went to Lansing. I was just looking around theaters and I got in contact with their artistic director. Um she told me, let's meet up on a Monday. And so I went there. It looked like there was a car there, so I thought it was her, but all the doors were locked. And I look inside the front doors of the church, so the main door, and I see this dog. And I was like, ooh. It was a bigger dog, like kind of like a pit bull breed. I don't know my dogs.
Oh.
Um, so it was a bigger dog, and it was looking really intent at me. And I was like, please bark and let whoever is inside know that I am here, hopefully for an interview. But the dog just stared me down. So eventually, after like 20 minutes of waiting, and I knocked on the door a few times, but no one was around. I left and I emailed her again. I was like, "Hey, what's going on? Like, did we have to reschedule it?" And I didn't get an email. She's like, "I'm so sorry. She got called into her real job,
Oh.
because you know what, to pay the bills. And she wasn't able to contact me
Oh.
through the email of the, because it wasn't her personal email, it was the
Sure.
email associated with the theater. So she wasn't able to contact me. So we rescheduled for Friday. That was last Friday, and we talked. She's like a girl like our age
Oh,
who
okay.
founded this theater. Yeah, she has a lot of
Cute.
big dreams, and she seems pretty chill. She is right now directing all of their shows that they're doing there. They have a full children's season, so youth shows and then adult shows. So I'm doing Rabbit Hole, which is a really sad movie apparently.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's a more of a dramatic play, but I don't get to do a lot of drama, so I'm excited for it. It's a small
Yeah,
cast, it's
dude.
modern,
That's
so
so cool.
yeah, so I'm really excited. Um, yeah, no, there's not much else. I haven't done any work on it yet because it won't start until March, and the
Oh,
show
okay.
goes up in May. And then in June, I'll go up to Interlaken
Mhm.
and work during the summer. I don't know if I said that on air
Yeah,
or
you
not, but
did last time.
I did.
We talked
So
about
yeah,
it.
I'll be up with the kiddos in Interlaken,
That
and
is
then
so cool.
yeah, I think because whenever I'm in limbo from these like freelance jobs with theater and stuff, it's hard to find. I mean, it's not hard to find a retail job, but I kind of part of me feels guilty, like they're looking for someone who's going to be there longer than 3 months. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, so I feel kind of guilty. But I think what I'm going to do is be certified to substitute teach. Um,
Ooh.
so I'm gonna look into that this coming week and try to get into the class.
Mhm.
Because I think you have to take a class or two to get certified, and I don't know exactly what else happens. But my parents and everyone in my family are teachers, so they're
Yeah,
like, you could
dude.
definitely do it. Like, go with like the kiddos, be like elementary school and lower. I would sub for my drama teacher in high school because I know how to do that and I know how she teaches. Like I would sub for my parents if need be. Like, but it's a little bit more free with taking days off. I don't have to work nights or
Absolutely.
weekends, like, and I can travel see Jeremy and you guys, whoever I want to go visit. Um, so yeah, I think that's really, so I'll keep you guys updated on how that's going if I get certified and start substitute teaching because I don't
Yes,
know
I want to
exactly,
know. Sorry, my
how
eyes
that's
are like
going.
really watery, so
I'm
I'm
glad you're
not
proud of me,
crying over
Mom.
here, but
you're, are you proud of me?
I'm
You're just
so
crying.
proud of you. I
Thank
am
you.
for real.
Thank you. I'm proud of you too. I'm really glad that
Thanks.
you're in a better spot
I'm
now.
so happy.
And yeah,
I
good.
miss
I'm glad
Head
we're all
Start
happy.
though, like I really do. I miss my kids like
Mhm.
crazy. I don't know. It's like I'm in this weird place where I want to like keep in touch and still know like what's going on in that classroom, but I know that I need to like move on. I think that
Yeah.
once I get like my placement and get like my room, hopefully they'll like give me a room or something and I won't be just like a weird third
Mhm.
teacher or something because I feel like that's the route that it's taking and I feel like if that happens then I'm not ever gonna fully feel like I work there if that makes sense
Yeah. Oh
because
yeah,
right
for
now
sure.
I feel like I'm just helping out and today I was telling Josh what I felt like I don't know if it was just like a Monday or what, but it was a weird, like, low confidence day. Like, even though I had, like, all last week where I was, like, jumping into classrooms and everything was chill, like, today, for whatever reason, I felt like I didn't, like, it wasn't my place to be. I didn't know, like, what I should be doing. I don't know. It was just, like, a weird day and
Yeah.
I'm just ready to know like what the hell is going on.
Yeah, that's Mondays for you.
Mm,
Mondays are always weird.
yeah,
Um well, before we get into the topic,
totally.
I had some news I wanted to share with you. Something was announced. I'm not gonna tell you anymore. I'm gonna send you the picture, and you're definitely gonna know what this is after I send you this picture. So, are
Okay.
you ready? So, look at your phone or your computer screen.
Wow, what a riveting podcast while we wait for the text.
Alright, it said it delivered.
Oh my god. What? 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 What?
Honey Pop 2 was announced. That's in
No.
development.
Oh. Oh. I'm crying tears of happiness now. I was just playing Honeycomb Studios like last weekend. Oh my god. I'm literally crying right now. I'm so
So,
happy. Why
I
am
knew
I
you'd be
crying
like,
over Honey Pop? Like,
because it's.
ah,
So this is the cast that was announced so far, and it's kind of a mix of the first Honey Pop game and some
oh my
girls who were in
god.
Honeycomb Studio, and then there's one girl there who is brand
Candace.
new.
Oh.
And anyway, I just wanted like your like I got the best reaction I could have
Thanks.
out of showing you that picture.
Oh my god. Is that like legit the like concept art? Like is that
Yeah, I'm
like what
pretty
it
sure that's art from the game.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah, isn't it such an improvement from the first
Yeah,
one?
dude. It's
Yeah,
so cute. So pretty. Oh, I love it. I'm so
I'm
happy. Oh my god.
I am
I thought
too.
you were gonna be like, you're pregnant or some shit, and I'm like, you're not announcing this to me over the freaking podcast. Like, what is happening? Don't ever announce something like that over the
Well,
podcast. That is not acceptable behavior.
oh my god.
Oh my god. And it's even better. Even
Yeah, this is
better
way.
news.
Honey Pop 2 is way better than Caitlyn being pregnant, I'm gonna say. That's the best news ever. So
Oh
yeah,
my
the studio
god.
announced
Did they
they're it
like do a release date?
not yet. They just released a video that it was in development, but if they're this far with concept art, they're finishing the studio is finishing up a game right now, like a different game, and
Mhm.
so I think this is their next project that they're doing is releasing Honey Pop 2. So
That is so
I know I'm
exciting.
super excited. So we will keep up to date with this. I
Yes,
actually follow
please
the
do.
developers on Twitter, and they've been pretty up to date on their
Oh
Twitter.
my
So I'll have to
God.
send you
You made
the
me so
the
nervous
at so you
too.
can
This like
follow.
nerve mage. I mean it
Yeah.
is,
Oh, I'm
but
really glad that that reaction is
not if
exactly what I
ever
was
was
hoping for.
expecting ever.
I'm really sorry. I
Yeah, dude. I love it.
It is
That is
major.
the first dating sim
It
that I ever played. Like I've never
it
played one or
honestly, like, that's one of
anything.
my,
I don't
like,
think.
one of our games, I would say. Like,
Yeah, it is so good.
I don't play it for the anime girls though. I play it for the puzzles.
I know.
No, I play for the anime girls too.
Well,
I'm not gonna
you
lie.
know.
Well, you know. Anyway, I'm expecting some sweet, sweet end screen pictures from what? Who said that? My favorite girl is in the cast.
Who's
The
your
weeb
favorite?
girl, Sarah. She came from Honeycomb Studio, and she's like the weeb girl who
Oh
tries to be
yeah,
Japanese. Yeah,
right.
she's my favorite.
Yeah. Oh, that is so exciting. It looks so good. I can't even get
Mm-hmm.
over that.
After that great news, let's talk about something. We've been wanting to talk about this topic for a really long
We've
time,
been
and it.
wanting to talk about this. I remember I was telling Josh, I'm like, I remember us like thinking up this and wanting to like make a video about it. And I
Mm-hmm.
feel like this is the first time that we are thinking like, no, we need to talk about this like at length.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's when we first started, when you were first throwing around the idea of podcasting.
Yeah, of
Yeah,
wanting to do this.
that is
So
so exciting.
yeah, well, I as a person who creates and follows a lot of creators, when I find out someone is like 12, I cry a little inside because
I
they're way
hate
more
it.
talented. Um, and it's not the person who is like, I don't hate the person. It's not a hate that I have. It's an envy,
Yeah.
definitely for skill level and for accomplishments,
Hmm.
which kind of ties into self-esteem and confidence
Oh,
is
totally.
one thing. But I told you when we were like, I'd also like to talk about the imposter syndrome, which is something that um, I throw around in my head. I don't know if it's an actual term, but I hear it a lot. And it is when you are just as qualified, but you don't have that sort of confidence, and you feel like you're an imposter.
Oh my God.
Like
I
like with me, I feel like I'm an imposter when it comes to costuming, even though
I've
I have a
never
degree
had
in it.
it like put into words like that. Oh my God,
Mm-hmm.
that is literally me.
Yeah.
That is legit how I feel, and it does not matter how many times like anyone tells me, what a great teacher I am, like how, I have my shit together, like it does not matter how many times like people build me up. Like one thing will happen and I'll be like, "Wow, I'm a mess."
And I'm a
Like
fake
you
and I
are
don't belong
just,
here.
yeah,
Yeah.
like I'm just side-eyeing all the time. I'm like, "Thanks, but like I feel like you just don't want me to quit and that's why you're being nice to me." Like
Mm-hmm.
I can't be that good. There's no way.
Yeah. It recently I've noticed a change in my attitude where I don't like I've been really proud of the work that I've done lately,
Yeah,
especially with costume design, and I'm getting in a kind of in a happy place again with my art. And those are like the two biggest things where I kind of feel
totally.
impostery syndrome,
Hmm.
and you feel it with your teaching you just said. So it's
Yeah,
like
but
I'm feeling a lot better.
yeah, and that's funny that you're saying that because, and I don't think anyone that deep in my life will see this, but definitely as I was like hopping around rooms, and then the reason I'm like, I don't know, not nervous, but I've only been in 2 rooms, so I'm like, oh, but one of the rooms I went in that was an age that I've worked with,
Mhm.
it definitely, I was like, oh wow, this room needs a little help.
Mhm.
And it was literally the first time that I'm like, oh, I kind of know what I'm doing.
Mhm.
Like, if I can jump into this situation and like totally get it under freaking control and, have them on task and have like something going on better than the lead that's been in there for not better, but you know what I mean? Like, not as burnt out and whatever as the lead that's been in there for a couple months. Like maybe I kind of know what I'm doing a little bit.
Yeah,
So,
it's really nice to have those moments where you're like,
yeah.
wow, I don't feel like I feel competent at least. You
Yeah.
know, like I feel like I know what I'm doing and the skills that I have are like useful.
Sure.
Because like sometimes I feel, yeah,
Yeah,
I used
Josh
to
did
feel that a
not
lot.
like it. Like, well, I mean, he was happy for me when I came home and said that, but at the same time, he's like, don't be freaking saying that because I literally just left my job
Yeah.
because I was not feeling this way. And then it's like, oh, actually, I kind of know what I'm doing. Sorry.
Well, leaving your old job was a different situation. You didn't
Yeah,
feel like you had
there
any
was
sort of
more.
support,
There was more
but
into
there
it.
was more to it.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, yeah, I don't know. It's like, it's just this. It all stems from confidence and self-esteem,
Oh,
honestly, like
definitely.
that, and I'm trying to think of like, you know, you need to stop. I'm trying to think of like, here are some tips to not feel like an imposter.
I
Like
am
I don't
in
know.
like no place to be giving anyone tips
Yeah, see,
on
that's me
that sort
too.
of thing.
Like,
I think all we can really do is talk about our own experience. Because I was even saying, like, when we were talking about this, uh, when did you text me? Just today?
mm-hmm,
About what we were going to talk about? Yeah. Um, and I was like, yeah, even people like our same age that you think, like, when you meet them, they just, like, their personality and they just exude, like, confidence and everything, and then you find out that they're like literally the same age as you. It's like, what the fuck happened when I was a
yeah,
child that I did not get like this personality? I'm not. Because that's another thing, like on the flip side, one of the other rooms that like I've been in quite often, the lead is like she has got her life together. And just like the way she carries herself, the like tone of her voice, just like everything about her, like says preschool or like pre-kindergarten teacher. Like everything
mm-hmm.
about her. And then she asked how old I was, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna be 26. And she's like, oh yeah, that's how old I am. And I'm like, how? What happened to me as a child that like I'm not? I don't know. It makes me think, I guess, especially because I'm around, all these kids, and I'm like, I'm seeing the shy ones, I'm seeing the more like confident ones, and it's just interesting to see like what is happening at this point in your life that's basically determining how you're going to be. Isn't that weird?
Yeah, that's nature versus nurture. That's like childhood development.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's I mean
But I
that's
guess
what you
I've never
study.
been like as in tune to it
Mm-hmm.
as now.
Yeah,
I don't know.
and
It's
like
just so weird.
I don't know if I have anything to comment on that. You just brought up some really cool points. I don't know. Sorry.
Well,
Yeah, it
yeah, it's definitely nature versus nurture because I definitely, but like at the same time, it's weird because then seeing it in the different demographic, like I still had it at Head Start where it's like you see the
Mm-hmm.
super shy kids that like don't say a freaking word, and then you see the ones that are like extremely outgoing, and you know what I mean? Like you can't believe that they are only 4. Like you can't
Mm-hmm.
believe that these two kids are the same age because of they just have different temperaments. But and then here I literally have parents like bringing their 4-year-old up to me because they don't recognize me. Like maybe I've been in the classroom but the parent hasn't met me, and they're like down on their child's level saying like, "Okay, like hold out your hand, look them in the eye and say, "Hello, my name is so and so. It's nice to meet you. What's your name?" And like having them practice those like introductory skills and then like having a conversation. And like even the lead was like talking to that same child later and was like, remember when you're asking someone a question, you want to look them in the eyes. And I'm like, oh my gosh, these like social skills are so
Yeah.
important, but I've never seen it like coached on this level. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, wow, you're really setting, and you can tell that the kid would otherwise be shy. So I'm like, that takes a lot for like a parent and a teacher to come together on that level and be like, let's do this.
Mm-hmm. For
So
sure.
that's interesting. I don't know. I've just like I've been thinking about it a lot 'cause I'm like, is that the difference between, you know what I mean? I don't know. Like
Yeah, I
someone who's
think
gonna, I don't know.
I don't know. I think there is a certain point in which praise can turn to kind of turn bad
Sure.
for a kid because like as a parent at that age like wow, that's really great that you drew this, you did this thing, you accomplished this goal that you
Mhm.
had, you know, you made this creatively. I'm talking creatively.
Sure.
Um but I come across some actors who have always been told.
Wow, you're amazing. Oh my gosh, how talented.
Right, exactly. And then that sort of breeds an arrogance.
Mhm.
So it's like they don't feel that's the exact opposite of the imposter syndrome that they think that they are at a higher level than everyone that they'll ever meet.
Which is
Maybe not everyone that they'll
so
ever meet, but at least
interesting because, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
oh no, you're
But
good.
that's definitely like the way that they want praise to be going now because research shows that having more, like, not more praise in general, but more intentional praise, like, wow, you zipped up your coat all by yourself. Like, you did this specific thing all by yourself. Like, you worked really hard on this specific thing and just like constant because then it
Mm-hmm.
like gives them this like internal sense of like, yeah, I can do it. But
Mm-hmm.
so that's like it's super interesting because I do think that as those kids get older, like they are gonna have the like different like sense of confidence and like way of like seeing it. Because even the quiet kids, like if you are, I got some quiet kids, and all I said was like, "Oh wow, look at that! You're working really hard on it," and you can just see like inwardly they're like, "Yeah, I'm a rock star." And
Mm-hmm.
so it's interesting to see because I feel like us growing up, I don't know about you, but I feel like it was way less intentional. We got more of the just like constant good job, and it wasn't like very specific and intentional. I didn't anyway. It was very general, always like, oh, she's good job, you're awesome, but like why? So,
Yeah, I would get that, like, you know, a gold star, like those good job stickers or
mhm,
whatever. Um, I would always because I picked up drawing when I was when I was super young, and
mhm,
so my praise always came from whatever I was drawing,
yeah.
you know, and so like that kind of leveled me like oh I gotta be really good at this because this is the one thing that they keep telling me I'm really good at,
Oh, interesting.
you know, like I remember kind of you know doing that, and like all my friends really liked that I could draw really
Mhm,
well and like all that stuff, so it kind of was like by no means was I popular, but like to my friends
mhm.
who all didn't know how to draw but also already liked me because I was not popular as a kid. Um, I was like, yeah, this it's not the reason why I have friends, but this is one of the reasons why my friends like me is
At
because of my
what
skill.
point did you, I don't know, maybe this is like going too deep or too weird or something, but
No, we
like,
can never go deep or weird.
no, well, like I was super creative growing up too, like my dad draws. And
Mm-hmm.
so I wanted, like, in attempts to have a good relationship with my dad and be close to my dad, like, I tried to be, like, hella creative. Like, I tried to play the guitar and be really musical like him. I tried to draw and everything. And I was really into art. I wanted to go to art school, like, for years and years. I would say, like, I'm going to this specific school, and I always got the art kits for birthdays, Christmas, like, everything. Like, I drew a lot,
Mm-hmm.
but I feel like as I got older, like I didn't draw like super consistently. It was just like yeah, I guess I can do that, but I didn't like hone it. And
Mm-hmm.
so I'm trying to think like at what point did I start like comparing that and instead of taking it like, yeah, I can do this to be like, why isn't mine like maybe I can't because it's not as good as Sally's over here next to me in
Mm-hmm.
art class. I didn't take a lot of art class when I got into middle school, but so I
Yeah,
don't
I'm
know,
trying to
like, do you
think.
have a point where, since we both kind of struggle a little bit with like confidence and stuff like that, like, do you have a point where you kind of think that you maybe started comparing yourself to other people in some regard? Like, was it middle school or what?
Um, in middle school, I really didn't like give two shits about who
Sure.
or what whoever what thought of me, you know.
Mm,
Um, it was later in high school that I started feeling kind of that comparison thing like really drove me because my relationship at the time was very driven by
that's
that,
true.
being compared to everyone, being
Wow.
he compared himself to so many
Isn't
people,
it
but he was on.
crazy how that can still just like fuck you up for life? Because
Yeah,
those are very formative years. And every time I
yeah.
know we talked about this a lot, and I have like I kind of forget about it, and then you bring it up, and I'm like, oh, that's fucking right. He ruined everything. Like he fucked shit
and
up.
I and I don't like like now I don't really.
Aw.
I've gotten a lot better, and I don't like. I shouldn't be blaming a lot of stuff that happened
You can.
on that person, but yeah, it was a really weird and rough time in my life
Sure.
where I was, not. I lost a lot of confidence. Like my mom even said, she was like, "You lost so much confidence. You lost so much of yourself when you're with him because everything was about him."
Mhm.
And so yeah, it was those kinds of formative years. And then all of college, I was trying to pick myself back up again, you
Absolutely.
know. So, um, yeah. And then with, going to conferences and being in competition with other people who were in the same meeting, like going to the ACTF conferences,
Yeah.
I felt a huge imposter syndrome with that because um, I wasn't being if I wasn't a finalist or I wasn't nominated or whatever. One year I was the runner up, but that doesn't matter. Like, no, it was great. I loved it. That was the conference where we first hung out. No, it wasn't. It was the second year we hung out and we first kind of hung out and we were roomies that year, weren't we?
Yeah.
Because the year
That
I
was
was
the
runner up,
only time I ever went.
that was the only time you ever went,
Yeah.
right? Um, so being around the same people who were studying this and honing their craft and had beautiful things to show and that was a whole bunch of imposter syndrome
It
kind
was
of
it
feelings.
was so hard, and I mean I can relate to that too. Being a stage manager and everything, it's
Mm-hmm.
like I always felt so disorganized, and I'm like, what am I not doing that these people are doing?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know. I only had a couple people to compare myself to, but man, did they have their shit together. And
Right,
I felt like
exactly.
I did not. And it was easy for me to kind of blow it off and be like, well, it's not my major. Like, this is literally just my hobby. And
Mm-hmm.
that's, I mean, it was true, but still in the back of my mind, I'm like, this is what I love to do. And I don't know. I felt, because it's weird because you feel like you're giving it your all, and then it's like not enough. And I don't know if
Comparable,
it's
yeah.
like, if it's actually not enough or if there's like something else that someone could have been doing. I don't know. I feel like in my case, a lot of it was kind of a mix between me not being super experienced and also not getting like the training and the whatever. Because I am the kind of person that literally needs to be walked through everything because I
Mm-hmm.
like it to be perfect, but I have no idea how to get there. And that's how I feel with like my teaching too. Like I literally want to be like, show me exactly what I should be doing and I will do that. But it's hard and it's hard and like creatively it's hard too because there's no right way
Right, yeah, like
to
there's
do it.
no
Yeah. Like
right.
everyone's a little bit different, and I hate that. Like that's one of the things that I get a lot in teaching. It's like, well, every room's a little bit different, and I'm like, yeah, I get that, but like, what? What am I doing? Like, what do I need to do?
Do you think I think that's kind of part of the imposter kind of situation
Hmm.
for sure because you're like
I'm always
the way
thinking that I'm not doing something right or like
right.
whatever, but in reality, like I'm not doing anything different than anyone else
You're
is
not doing
doing.
anything wrong.
It just feels like it.
My old manager Michelle uh always said there's more than one way to skin a cat. And that's my first tip. There's always more than one way to skin a cat. Okay? With
Let's
everything.
just leave the cats alone. Leave the
Like
cats out of this.
there's more than one way to do things.
Yeah.
And I think that that's something that I've definitely learned how to at least recently try to um, to try to revel in, to try to take in one day at a time, and to stop
Totally.
comparing yourself to others. Like
Yeah.
that's the other biggest thing, and but it's so hard. It's
Easier
really
said
hard.
than done. Like,
It's so
you
hard.
can, there's no way that you can just wake up one morning and be like, I'm gonna stop comparing myself to people. Like, you really have to make, just like you have to make a conscious effort to, like, be positive and be happy and, like, find the good and optimistic side of things, you have to make a conscious, like, effort and choice every day, all day long to not compare yourself. And
But
it's
it'll
hard
get
too
easier
because
over
you
time.
see, like, comparing yourself to others is not always necessarily a bad thing. Like, going to these classrooms and seeing, like, oh, this is how they're doing, and I can see myself doing something completely different. Like, this is what I
Mm-hmm.
would do in this situation, but this is what they're doing. But I think it's hard. Like, at Head Start, it was really hard, especially seeing myself in relation to the other 3-year-old full day teacher who seemed like their kids were like under control. They had like good structure, and I
Mm-hmm.
just could not get my life together. But then finding out at like the last staff meeting, literally, like a day or two before I put in my notice, that they were not having any growth, like data wise. And I'm like, oh my gosh, really? And I thought that it was just me. Like, I have
Right.
been, and I'm not trying to be like narcissistic and think that it's like, oh, it's just me that crazy, but I have a really bad habit of being like, well, it just must be me because I'm a failure or something. And that
Yeah.
goes with confidence and stuff too.
Yeah, I do that too.
Mm,
Like, I'm trying to think of an example that applies to me, but I do that too. I can't think of anything specific, but
that's
yeah,
okay.
it's overall, it's just in general, it's just kind of I'm getting better, and I think you're
Yeah,
getting better.
I feel
I
like
think now in this
I'm
instance,
getting better.
but yeah, it was those years of trying just to be confident in general and being assured of myself. I was just like huge imposter. Like I am a wolf in sheep's clothes. I
Yeah. Oh,
this
absolutely.
degree is fake. I printed it
What
out
am
of
I
my printer.
doing?
Like
Why do I keep getting all of these job offers for literally every interview that I go to? Like, don't you know that I don't know what I'm
right,
doing? Like, don't you know
like
that I'm
see
faking
past
it
it.
so hard? Like, please. It's so weird that, like, I just wanted one place to be like, I think we're gonna go with someone else. And I'd be like, I don't blame you.
Yeah,
But like it was so hard just getting, I know that sounds like, oh, it's so hard getting all these job offers, and it's like it was weird. It was weird as hell.
it's hard when you don't think that that you deserve it.
Yeah.
That's what's hard
That's
about
it
it.
too. That's what I think it is too, and it's that kind of goes, and I think that our generation has that a lot. I just saw like a really good metaphor, not metaphor, analogy. Yeah. Oh, I'll have to find it and see if I can send it to you. But it has to do with like when someone says um, oh, sorry, and you either say, oh, it's fine, like, no problem, or like, that's okay, or
Mm-hmm.
something like that. It's like your response, has a lot to say about like how you were raised because I don't know, I'll have to find it. It was really
Yeah,
interesting, and I'm like, oh yeah, that makes a lot of
that does
sense.
sound
Like,
interesting.
you feel very undeserving
Mm-hmm.
of a lot of things.
Yeah.
And that, I don't know, like, I don't, because then thinking back to the nature versus nurture, like, I don't feel like my parents raised me to feel like I was undeserving of
Right.
anything. They're
Exactly.
trying, I feel like I was raised very humble, and that
Mm-hmm.
might be what it is. Like, I'm extremely humble, and somewhere along the line, it gets a little blurred into thinking, like, that I don't deserve it.
Yeah, like the humble turns into the the not thinking that you are at the level that you are,
Sure.
or yeah, I get. Yeah, I don't know how to really put that into words,
Do
but I get what it,
you
there's a transformation.
Do you find now, because I definitely feel like I'm doing better, and you said you're doing better. So do you feel like instead of it being a constant thing, like I know for me, for like a long time, like even in college and stuff, like it was, and maybe it has to tie in with mental health or whatever, like it would come in like waves of like months of just feeling like in a huge rut, but now I feel like I have off days. Like this
Mm-hmm.
weekend was a very off weekend, like specifically yesterday. Um,
Yeah, you dyed your hair.
yeah,
You
I dyed my hair, but maybe it wasn't yesterday. Maybe it was Saturday. I think it was Saturday. I remember there were several times throughout the day that I was like, I don't feel pretty. Like I don't feel good today.
mm-hmm.
And I got my hair cut too, and it was not exactly how I wanted it. So I think that might have played
Mm,
into it a little bit.
yeah, that
But
definitely will.
I don't know. So and I guess what I'm saying is like instead of it being a constant or even like several months on end, it's now going down to like a week or maybe a couple days, a
Yeah.
month or every other month or something. Like it's getting less. So I think it's hitting me more when I'm realizing
Yeah.
like wow, I am not in a good way right now.
Maybe we should do a little project together and do a mood tracker.
Yeah, dude.
Like in a bullet journal and do
We
a
should
mood
do that.
tracker.
That might be
I think
really
that'd be
helpful,
interesting.
actually.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely notice that I feel way more negative in association with like my cycle.
I was just
Like,
gonna say that because I have like a
yeah.
tracker app, and I'm on, well, I'm on the tail end of my period right now. But like on there, like you can track your productivity and your motivation, and your mood, and like everything. And I'm like, wow, this is crazy. Like I always feel like extremely unmotivated, like very like low energy but not tired. Like I'm just
Mm-hmm.
I get I fall into like a depression. I feel
Yeah,
like
it
for like
really.
a week or two, and I'm even noticing it like with my like YouTube, like I keep saying like, "Oh, I'm just in a reading slump," but I'm like I'm in a rut for like a week or two, like I'm not making any videos, I'm not reading, I'm not doing anything. So maybe it is like it's got to be related
My.
to that hormone.
Yeah, I definitely feel like more frustrated with myself and my skill level. Like I notice that like for whatever reason there's always a point where my body and my brain are like you need to draw something right now, and then I get super
I get
frustrated with
so
myself
pissed, yeah.
when I can't. Like everything I put down on paper or on my tablet is like shit,
Mm.
and then I feel like huge imposter, like wow, I've been drawing since 2004 and I like feel like I am
Have
like
never
just
picked up a
drawing with my right
pencil
hand
before
now.
in my life. Yeah.
but it's always in association with like when I'm PMSing.
I've
I don't
never
know why it's
really
gotten
like
worse.
I know that I've been pretty conscious of that, but I feel like it never clicked until you actually
Yeah.
just said that. That's really interesting because I've been tracking it for maybe like
Mhm.
4, 5
Do you use
months.
Clue?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what I
I
use.
love
Do
it.
you want to sync up our calendars so we can know when we're
Yes,
on each other's period?
can we for real?
We can if you want.
Oh, was that not a real offer? I'm so
No, we
awkward.
can.
Oh
We
God,
can.
I'm an imposter in this friendship.
Oh. No, you're fine. No, but that has a mood tracker on it too, so we can like track each other's moods and stuff.
Yeah,
And
dude.
we just have to be constant because sometimes I'm not like I
I'm
don't put
not
anything
either.
any ever and all the time, so I just
I didn't last month, but I try to be. I don't know. I just like to see, because I'm not, this is getting off topic, but like I'm
it's
not
okay.
on any birth control or anything. And my cycles are always like hella out of whack. So I kind of like to just see, just to maybe have a little bit of a heads up of when it could be happening, roughly.
Yeah, it's been pretty accurate for me. If I
Yeah,
skip a month, they're like,
yeah.
you haven't had your period in like 720 days. And I'm like, well, that's not physically possible. Clue app. It's
That's
some
hilarious.
realistic number, obviously, but like they think that I haven't had my period.
Yeah.
So, and when I have, I just forgot to put it in that month. Anyway, that's not the point. The point is that
February's a short month too, so I kind of panicked, and then I'm like, But sometimes, like last year, I feel like I didn't have anything in February. Sorry, this is very bizarre. Anyway, we got on a weird tangent. Anyway,
your birthday's coming up.
huh?
Your birthday's coming up.
Yeah,
End of
it's
the
in
month.
2 days. I mean, it will be on. It's on Wednesday. Is this coming out on Wednesday?
Oh my god. Oh,
Happy
that is
birthday to
going out on
me.
Wednesday. Happy birthday. Everyone
Thanks.
tweet at Becca happy birthday. Um it was Jeremy's it was Jeremy's birthday on the 20th. And so
I'm literally gonna
anyway,
be 6.5. Sorry,
oh
I
good
got
for
really
you.
excited. 6.5.
Ooh.
Mhm. And 26.
Wait,
So.
oh, is that where's the half come from?
Well, because it's every 4 years, so I can
Mhm.
actually track like my half, whatever. So like last year I
Oh.
turned 25, so that would be 6.25. This year it's 6.5. Next year will be
Oh.
6.75, and then I'll be 7 when I'm 28.
Oh man. That's like a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot. Well,
I
I'm
mean,
glad you're
also
not
my
legally.
my half birthday is August 29th,
Mm-hmm. You
but
celebrate on the 28th,
yeah,
right?
yeah. In
Yeah.
leap years, I will be 6.5
Yeah, nice.
on Wednesday. Today, whenever.
Nice. Today, this morning, whenever it's posted. I will post on Wednesday. I've been pretty better about
Good
posting on
morning,
the days.
afternoon, or evening.
Oh, shut up.
I don't know when you're listening to this.
I hate you. Don't bring up my ghosts, okay? Don't dig
New
in my gravestones.
intro.
My new intro is
I'm
just gonna be like, hey,
introing
fuckers.
next time I do the intro to this podcast. I'm doing it
No,
like that.
don't. I
Yeah,
thought I was so cute.
it
I'm
is
not.
cute. I love it. I
Well, if I
love
were to
it.
do videos again, I wouldn't do that. I'd just be like, yo, what's
Yes.
up?
Yo, yo, yo.
Yo. Brr, 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 brr. We're gonna talk about BTS.
Oh, there was something. Oh, there was an episode of Good Mythical Morning where they were playing like a K-pop um game, like guess what this K-pop song is about.
Hmm.
It was,
I should look it
yeah,
up.
I'll send you the link. I was like,
Yeah,
"Oh
you
my
should.
God." Anyway.
Um, the Olympics were held in Korea this year, and so a few K-pop groups performed the
Oh,
opening and closing ceremonies of the Olympics.
nice.
CL performed to the end. At the end,
She's my
she didn't
favorite.
sing "Hello Bitches" though. I really wanted her to, but she can't say "Hello Bitches" at the Olympics. Like she just can't. I wish she could have, but no, she
Can
didn't.
you
I think she sang
imagine?
I can, and it's glorious, but I don't think anyone would have liked that. Um,
I'm like anxiously awaiting my wedding reception because we're gonna
you're
have
gonna
to
walk
listen
into
to
your
that,
reception at
and
Hello
my
Bitches.
family is gonna be very confused.
It's okay.
But that's gonna be the only song on the playlist for the whole night.
So we got like Hello Bitches, and then like the instrumental track, and then like a remix of it, covers of the song.
All this K-pop that they're not
All this
gonna.
K-pop. We should learn. Can I learn a K? Can we like learn a K-pop dance? You know how like some people like do routines.
Yes, absolutely we can. Oh my
Nice.
god.
Okay.
Why are we not? Why is this the first time we're throwing around this idea?
Because we've been. All right. So I'll teach you a K-pop dance. I'll learn one. I'll teach you, and then I'll also be your ordained minister, and then
Oh,
we'll learn Hello
I
Bitches.
love it.
Yeah, that's okay.
And the puppies and the kitties will be the bridal party and
I haven't told
groomsmen.
Jeremy that Josh said that, and I was like, Josh needs to ask you himself. He's like, I didn't say that to him, so he doesn't know that Josh. I don't know if Josh
Josh
was
is
serious
not
about that,
going
but
to ask him. That was my idea. And then he just
oh,
blurted out. He's like, Jeremy's gonna be. And I'm like, whoa.
like, well, hold on. Um, but yeah. Anyway, so I forgot. I was like Josh's brother, and I was like, oh, he has a sister. Never mind.
She's not invited.
Oh, family drama. I'm gonna live vlog
That's for off
your
the
wedding.
podcast.
I won't put that in. So I'm trying to think. Um, there's something else I wanted to tell you.
This was such a good podcast.
It was. Isn't it nice when we have a topic? We need to
We've
keep
been
thinking of
wanting to talk
topics.
about it. Is there anything else that we wanted to touch on? Because I know that we've talked about this topic so often, and it's mostly about like when we see mm, like actors or just like musicians or like
Like people
little
who are
kids
younger.
being hella amazing, and it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, like on the surface and deep down, I'm like, wow, I'm super proud of you, and you should keep doing what you're doing because you're amazing. But then, like in the depths, like in the deep web of my soul,
In
I'm
the
like,
deep
fuck
way.
you. Like I hate. Ugh,
I hate, like,
it
why?
just
I don't understand.
because
I
it's
just,
the imposter syndrome. It's a confidence thing. It's like,
I don't know. I feel like there's more to it than that.
oh, I'm sure there is.
Well, it's probably a confidence thing. I
I'll ask
just
my
read
therapist.
like way more into it, I
Yeah,
guess. I don't
I
know.
don't think so. Do you know what I found? What I unearthed? And I'm gonna show you on the screen.
Okay,
Well, those are snacks. I'm gonna put those down,
dude.
and I'm gonna show you these two vintage books that I got about
Yes.
fashion. So this is a Dress Smartly, a 100-point guide, the revised version, and I think it's still from like the 60s. So it's like how to choose designs and colors that are best for you.
That is
Let's see if I find the year.
everything.
1967. Yep. So I thought maybe every once in a while I can bring up some topics from how to dress smartly from the 1960s. Would that be like a
Girl.
fun little like weekly thing to do?
Yes.
Yeah.
That
Okay.
is so good. I love that.
And then also this is a book from ooh, this is really old. Oh, 1908, and it's called How the World is Clothed.
Oh.
Um, and it's this book from the early 1900s,
Mhm.
and it goes through the entire world.
That
It's
is
an old school
so
book
cool.
about how you know he talks about the cotton industry, about fields, cotton mills. So it's like gonna go talks about hemp, shoes, how leather working.
That is so cool.
So if I've learned anything in here, I'll let you know. But like, look at all these old drawings of shoes. Can you see those?
Yeah,
Like, yeah, just crazy stuff. I like old books like this. Like,
that's
it's not applicable.
awesome. But it's
It's
cool
not a
to have.
yeah. So expect in the future I'll. Oh, I'm trying to reach. Expect in the future that I will have some tips on how to dress smartly. Speaking of dressing smartly, have you watched Queer Eye?
I was just about to say that. Like, Josh is the one who found it, and he's like, "You gotta watch the show." And then he put it on, and I'm like, "Oh my God!" Like, and then I asked him, like, "Did you like ever watch it, like in the 2000s or whatever when it was on for real?" And
Mm-hmm.
he was like, "No," because he didn't have those channels. And I was like, "Oh my God, I love that." And but
Yeah.
I never really watched it because my parents never would have let me watch LGBT
Mm-hmm.
shows, but I did late at night. They were asleep.
Alone
I watched
when
The
they were.
Logo. I did for real.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
sorry, Dad. But we are watching it. It's not on right now because I wanted to watch it, and
Oh,
we
it's
can't
so
have the
good.
sound on when we're podcasting. But oh my
I
God, it's so
I appreciate
freaking
it.
good.
Yeah, I've been I binge watched all of the 6 episodes in season 1, and then I followed all the people on Twitter. Like I followed all of the guys, the Fab
Oh
Five,
my
and like
God, I need to
yeah,
follow them on Twitter. Josh,
they're
follow the
pretty fun.
Fab Five on Twitter. Yes. Oh my
I
God,
think it
yes.
like and then immediately after, this is kind of bad, but immediately after watching one of those episodes, because I was texting Wyatt, I was like, "Have you been watching the new Queer Eye?" He's like, "No, is it good?" And I was like,
Oh,
"Yes."
it's
But then I
so
asked him, I
good.
was like, I like low key asked, I was like, "So I was thinking of getting bangs. What do you think?" And then he was like, "Oh, girl, I think that you would rock 'em, and like you are way more confident than you were the last time you had bangs. Because the last time I had bangs, I was in high school and I felt like shit. So like,
Uh,
so he sent me some pictures, and I think I'm gonna like get my hair like seriously did. I'm
yeah,
gonna
dude.
go. I'm gonna do a self makeover. I had a dream where I had a makeover, like a free makeover, and I was like, all right, I gotta do it. It's gonna cost money because it's not free. But like
No.
now I'm like, but like I was getting my hair. It was like a montage dream. I
Of
got my
course.
nails. I got my nails done. My hair. Like I got like new clothes. Like seriously, it was an episode of Queer Eye. It was my dream.
That's
So yeah.
everything. Oh my
But yeah.
God. Yeah, we love it.
It was
So,
really good.
it is really good.
I hope they keep going. I should watch old episodes because I've only seen a few, but I should honestly watch it because Carson Kressley is like a new. He's now a judge on RuPaul, so that's
Oh,
where I know him from. But he was originally on Queer Eye for a Straight Guy, so
yeah.
yeah.
Cool.
You should watch the new episodes of RuPaul. Oh,
I
season 10.
know.
That's what we should watch together. We should watch season 10 together because that's gonna start going up in March.
I need to.
So
Oh, in March? Okay.
season 10, yeah, they're doing All Stars 3, which is queens who have been on are
Sure.
competing again. But this is a
Do
new cast. It's
they.
a new season.
Oh, okay. So it's not going to be
Yeah,
any of
season
the
10.
past. It's going to be all new.
Right, yeah. So like the regular RuPaul's Drag Race, that's all new queens every season for the most
Yeah.
part. Some of them come back. Like a queen from season 9 had an injury and the doctor said she couldn't compete anymore, so she was invited back to be on season 10. So she's on season 10. But like All Stars is when people from old
Right.
um, seasons come back and compete again. But we should do season 10 because it's going to be a killer season. They announced the cast. They're all pretty rockin'. There were some queens on there that I knew from like Instagram and stuff.
Oh,
So yeah, not me
cool.
personally. I didn't know anyone personally, but I followed them because I just want Wyatt to be on because then I'll make all his
Oh,
costumes. That's what I'm
that'll be
banking on.
so cool.
Wouldn't that be cute?
Yeah, it'd be adorable.
Sometimes in the day I'm just like, what if I just glued down my eyebrows today and see if I could cover them and like draw new ones on, just randomly, because
It's
I'm not
not
by
that
myself during the
hard.
day. It's not. I
I
did it
did
all the
it.
time for makeup
Yeah.
class.
Right.
Mhm.
It'd
Anyway,
be
on that note,
interesting. Shave them off. Free
see,
yourself.
I keep saying that, and Jeremy is like, no,
Just do it.
I
Just like
can't.
the
I thought about doing just half.
tail. Yeah.
I thought about just doing half,
Yes, just
but
do it. Live
maybe one day.
your authentic life, okay? Live
Okay,
your
Jenna.
truth.
Jenna Marbles.
We've been talking about that a lot lately. That's a topic for another podcast. We'll end this and then I have some tea to
Oh,
spill for you.
all tea, all shade. All
Hmm.
right, well, thanks for joining us on episode 15. We hope that we get to 20 eventually. And we will. I think we're getting on the right track,
Hmm.
but like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you guys next week. I don't
Bye.
know. Bye.